Alright. Hi guys. Welcome to CujoMatty plays the Super Bowl. And probably rambles on about nonsense. I was just I'm not gonna do commentary or anything weird like that on play-by-play stuff, but I figured, might as well sort of talk about football and talk about 2K and talk about the mod and the mod team and just kind of give you guys a bit of an inside look at sort of my thoughts on some things. And um, I'm pretty self-aware that I'm a little crazy, so I might have some ramblings. No, I really probably won't. But yeah, so I'm going to be playing as the Bengals because I hate the Rams. Well, more specifically, I hate Sean McVay. Uh, yeah, I'm a big Todd Gurley fan, and I don't hate Sean McVay because anything to do with Todd Gurley really. Like, I understand his knee was borked, um, and I understand that that's why things went the way they did with him. But I mean more like that Super Bowl that they were in a few years ago. That was the most boring piece of crap game that I ever seen, and like watching that game is like Sean McVay tried to out coach Bill Belichick. And like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, how are you trying to out coach Bill Belichick? And like, full disclosure, I'm a Colts fan, so I hate the Patriots with my whole entire life. Like, they're our absolute arch nemesis. But like, there's no way I can deny like Bill Belichick's the best coach probably ever, and definitely in my lifetime. And he tried to coach him. It was just mind blowing, and I don't know, I hate him, and I get like everyone kind of thinks he's awesome and he's young and he's this and that, and I don't see it, but whatever. People that know football and kind of stuff about coaching obviously would know better than me. That's just my opinion, but yeah, I don't like him. So yeah, I'm gonna be the Bengals, and I mean I'm not particularly fond of the Bengals either, but I do have Mixon on my fantasy football team, so oh boy, it's not good. And so I did watch a bit of their games, kind of watching him, and yeah, I mean they're good. They're a good team, and Chase is definitely looking like the real deal, which is pretty cool. Ooh, big stop. Big stop. McVay's pissed. Use your head, Stafford. Screw you, coach. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about 2K and sort of give you my background on it. So yeah, I'm 48 years old. Been playing video games my whole entire life. I remember when I was a little kid going to my sister's swimming lessons at the YMCA, and they had an asteroids machine in the common area, and I just fell in love with video games on the spot, and they've been a big part of my life since then. I actually owned a video game store for a couple of years, and yeah, it's just been a passion of mine forever. Specifically sports games. I play pretty much every sports game you can. I've owned every Madden that's ever come out. But yeah, back in 2004, I was a Madden guy. I remember at the time getting 2K5 simply because it was well, it was cheap for one, but more than that, I think more than that, I was itching for an NFL game, and I remember it came out, I don't know, a week or so it was like a week or so before Madden came out, if I remember correctly, and I just was like, you know what, I want an NFL game, and at $20, I mean, you can't really go wrong. So, and I remember at that time just absolutely being, Burrow's gonna go for it. I remember at that time being blown away. Most specifically, what I remember is being blown away by the presentation and just like all the ESPN stuff and the halftime show and then him going to highlights from other games and the weekly wrap up, and like it just blew my mind. And like they had interviews at the end of games, and I mean, let's be fair, you know, now to watch those interviews is like the voice acting is pretty horrendous, pretty cringeworthy, but at least they, you know, it doesn't even matter though. They try it, that they did it, that they like had this insight to go, you know, how can we make this better? How can we make this like stand above Madden? What can we do? And they accomplished it. They really did. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some stuff in 2K that drives me nuts. Most specifically, the animations for the DBs and safeties, like pass coverage is. Oh shit, he's wide open. Pass coverage is. It's not that the pass coverage is bad. It's that the animations that the DBs do that are terrible when they go to swat the ball. Like a lot of times they'll go for an interception but not even be anywhere near the ball. Like, and kind of by this animation blows up a massive. It gives the receiver wide open and massive gains or touchdowns and you know those kind of things. But like at the end of the day, for me, it's still the shortcomings are far less than what the greatness of this game is. And you know, I also think it's important to say, oh, dude, I think it's also important to say that I'm real about it. Like, I think a lot of people, when it comes to like these older games, sort of have that like rose-colored glasses, or you know, the fond memories kind of outweigh their objectivity about how the game really is. Like, perfect example, my favorite game, sports game of all time, is MVP 05. The amount of hours I put into that is just insane. Like, I think I played 4 full seasons every game of that when it came out, and like it blew my mind how good it was. And you know, the realness of that is like I've tried it and I can't play it today. Like, I just can't. It hasn't. There's, it's not fair to say it's a bad game because it's really not. But it's just, it hasn't aged well to me, especially considering that, you know, MLB The Show has put out such high quality, you know, options out there that it's just like, to go back to MVP is just not gonna happen. You know, that being said, it's gonna hold a special place in my heart, and I got fond memories of it, and you know, all that. But yeah, it's just not something that I can really play today. 2K is just, you know, is not that. It's, can I get there? Yep. 2K for me is just, you know, yeah, the graphics are from 2004. There's no denying that. They still have this charm. They still have this, like, you know, this retroness to it that's still acceptable. Like, if this was a game released today on PC by some, you know, third-party development team, like, I mean, let's be real. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna piss some people off here, but like, this game still is more appealing visually to me than like a Maximum Football, or I'm not even gonna put it in the same thing as like Legend Bowl, or just because that's not fair to Legend Bowl. And that game is just absolutely amazing. What those guys have done is that's just it's just an incredible game. Crap, I'm talking too much. But yeah, you know, like a maximum football or something more comparable and like an actual simulation football. This game still holds up decently well, especially with what's been modded. Um, but I mean, at the time, I remember in 2004, I played this for a solid week, and Madden came out, and this got shelved. It did. I didn't find my love for 2K till years after it actually came out, and you know, a big part of that is the absolute mediocreness of. Oh, I was not watching that. The absolute mediocreness of Madden, and you know, I'm not. I know there's a lot of people out there that just blind hate Madden, and you know, it's the worst thing ever, and I'm not that guy. It's not the worst thing ever. I get Madden every year. I have fun with it for a few weeks, and then it just gets to be boring. It just doesn't do the little things at all well. Penalties never work. The computer running game generally sucks. Oh boy, that's gonna be third and short. Gotta go for it. It's the Super Bowl. You gotta go for it. Bro. Probably shouldn't. That was triple coverage, but I digress. Yeah, just Madden just doesn't seem to. I mean, they're tripping over their own dicks all the time, and it just blows my mind. Like, and that's the thing too. You know, a lot of people just hate Madden, hate them, and I'm not, and hate EA more so that they just hate EA, and EA is this evil corporation. And, I mean, I get it. They don't seem to listen to their fans. They seem to be really concerned more about making money than the love of making an awesome video game. And okay, fair enough. Like whatever, they got their reasons. But I know, for me, to just you had it, bud. To hate on EA just isn't fair to me because the reality of the situation is, I've got thousands and thousands of hours of enjoyment out of EA games over the years, like no doubt about it. Being a sports game guy, and I mean, there's just no denying that I've gotten just tons of enjoyment. If I was to list off my top 20 games, I guarantee that EA games would be at least 10 of them. And so, you know, oh boy. So it just wouldn't be fair to sit here and hate on EA, but I mean, it's also gotta acknowledge that. In all fairness, the disdain that they get is well deserved. There's just no denying it. And they like I said, they trip on their dicks all the time. They just can't seem to figure out that it's the consumer that matters here. Oh, yeah, that wasn't happening. I guess I'm gonna take the field goal. And I guess, you know, like, I kind of feel like every year, oh, maybe this will be the year that forces me to shelf 2K and move on, sort of like I had to with MVP, and just acknowledge that it's over. And I just don't see that happening anytime soon. EA seems to just go like, this is what the game is, and this is what we're doing, and they just don't seem to want to fix the stuff that just doesn't work. And you know, I just cannot get on board with that. Definitely helps though that how moddable 2K has become now, and the great work that all these guys have done. And you know, this is a great football game. It just is.
The Rams have been locked in a defensive struggle so far. They will start this drive at their own 20-yard line. Number 10 goes in motion. Number 23.
You're running the ball, really?
First down and will gain close to 6.
I'll still take this 2K end to half, end of game logic over EA's bork mess any day of the week. Ooh, I might be able to get the ball back here even. Stafford's just not getting her done. But it's kind of, I mean, it really is too bad that things ended up the way they did. I know EA getting the exclusive license for NFL, I was like, oh, well, you know, I was a Madden guy, so I was like, yeah, it is what it is. In hindsight, obviously, man, it'd have been super cool to see what 2K could have become if they didn't have to stop making first party or simulation football games. And, you know, that's very interesting, but I guess, like, really the byproduct of that whole situation that was really, like, life altering for me is the fact that 2K basically answered by that exclusive deal with MLB, and MVP baseball being no more was devastating at the time. I remember they did that NCAA baseball version the next year, and it was just like, man, this just is not working. And it sucked. And then there was some crappy years there. Like 2K baseball, like it also, like, you know, people are pretty hard on 2K baseball, and I mean, again, rightfully so. But I'll tell you a couple things about 2K baseball. The commentary to this day is still unbelievable. Joe Morgan was unreal in that game, and the stuff they talked about and just the feel of it, it was like, this is baseball. And it tops the show. Matty V. I do not. I mean, I like him, but he's been commentating for MLB The Show for, I don't know, 10 years for sure. Seems like, anyways. But yeah, the commentary in 2K was unreal, and I was such a fan of the pitching. Oh, that should have been a pick. I was such a fan of the pitching mechanic where you had to do the gestures. I know the show basically took that idea and made it their own this last year, and man, I'm glad they did. Like, too many companies are just like, I don't want to do that. They did it. Well, yeah, they did it because it was awesome. So it's not really stealing it if 2K doesn't even make baseball video games anymore. You're just repurposing it because it's a great mechanic. It's innovation. So yeah, I don't know. I was a big fan of that. But yeah, there's a lot of problems with the 2K games, and then there's those lean years where it was like before the show really took off for me.
Absolutely, it's all tied up, and essentially we're back at 0-0 to start the second half. There's the signal, and we're ready. This will fly out of the end zone for a touchdown.
Do I be conservative here? I probably should, but I want to get Chase more involved here. Let's try letting him go on a post here. See what that safety does. We're definitely slagging off, so it's probably not going to go well. Oh, wait, what? What play did I pick? Not the right one. Yeah. I think that tells me what I should probably do here. But again, Lord hates coward. Yeah, what was I talking about? Super Bowl. I wonder how that's gonna go. Man, I'd like to see the Bengals do it, but Rams are pretty good. And I'd like to see Aaron Donald get a Super Bowl ring here. He's pretty unreal.
So that'll bring the first half of football to a close as the clubs head to the locker room all time. And now
I'm gonna skip this halftime stuff just because there's not really much in terms of highlights that were any good.
there's the
So yeah, I think I'll talk a little bit about sort of the mod this half and just my feelings on it.
to begin.
I've been feeling very fortunate to be a part of this community, and
Very own Susie Colbert. Susie,
you know what's been going on with this mod. I've been involved in a lot of mod communities. I've been modding for ever. I was pretty heavily invested in the 2K series of NBA. I've done a lot of mods for it, and
thanks, Susie.
that's a great community too. But
First down and gains
I
about
sort
3
of
yards.
crossed paths with LostSoul over a year ago when I was just kind of got a hankering to do some equipment edits for a roster, and he'd been just kind of starting out his journey with this game and doing roster stuff. So it just ended up that we started sort of cross paths that way, and
Couple of yards, but it's the feeling of dropping the
we talked a little bit
matter.
before this mod took off, and he'd mentioned about we kind of went back and forth a little bit about maybe helping out with some of the roster stuff, and I don't know. He'd probably heard a lot of people talk about helping him out, and I'm pretty sure he probably was like, I don't know, we'll see if he actually does or not, because there's a lot of people that say they're going to do something that they don't. I've noticed that a lot in modding. But yeah, it just turned out I actually had, with the job that I had to go off for COVID. My wife was very pregnant, so I went off work for COVID with the COVID scare at the beginning of it for a couple months, and I had free time, and I started sort of tinkering around with more things 2K, and then in the summer I was bored again, and too late, and then I kind of decided I was gonna get all the photos and all this roster stuff done, and then I think more than anything, I wasn't sure how much, I tend to bounce around, and I really only play sports games for the whatever sport it is during that, when that sport is on. So, generally football, when football ends, I kind of move on to MLB The Show and play baseball, and so I wasn't sure really how long I was going to stick around in this modding with 2K, but just the guys that are doing it, it's just been such a pleasure and a good time that I'll be there. Yeah. It's kept me around, and I really, I don't know I don't really have any ideas of other stuff I feel like working on. It's just kind of a whatever grabs me at the time is sort of what I'll work on, but I definitely don't see myself not contributing to this project in the future. I've got such a respect for the guys. LostSoul, I kind of told him this already, but like I said, I've been in a lot of modding communities, and he's just got this great mentality. He doesn't have this big ego that a lot of guys can have in modding, and he's just very supportive, and he really wants 2K to be the best it can be, and he just really just supports that, and he doesn't talk down to people, or I know how it can be. It can be super frustrating when you're a lot of mentality these days are, give me this game. I want this. Well, yeah, great, but we all do this for free, and you demanding something from us is fairly annoying, and those things can sort of spiral and get kind of ugly, but he just always handles it well. And I think he just has he really has the mentality that this is a community effort. It's not a lost soul effort, and that's a great guy to have because he's the guy that's really holding it together and having it all be pieced together. And to top it off, I mean, it's just the work he does is good too. It's not good. It's great, and the stuff he's putting out is all high quality stuff. That it's just like, yeah, no, that's good. And then I really, over this last little while, sort of, oh crud, yeah, I'm screwed. 4th and 23. Can't talk and play. Anyways, yeah, no, I sort of got to know, well, more, not to know, but I've been working a little bit with Flame of Hope and in this last quite a while, and, the biggest thing that for me with him is that dude has just the absolute attention for detail is super important to him. If the helmet has a button here or a color there or whatever, it's just super important to him that he gets those things, and he's never gonna put out something that isn't just top quality. Like, it's just not gonna happen. He's not gonna rush something out for the sake of getting it out. It's gonna be like, okay, no, this is gonna be right, and furthermore, he'll hold us accountable for it too, like, or anybody else. If you want to be on the mod, like, show us what you got. Let's see some stuff. Let's get some quality stuff. And I appreciate that because yeah, we're doing this for the love of it, and we're all working together and being supportive of each other. But I also want it to be quality stuff that's happening, and Flame of Hope just really has that. He wants the stuff to be high quality, and it's great. Ziva and I, unfortunately, I came along sort of late to the game, and he had school and stuff. So I haven't really got much of a chance to do anything with him or really even chat with him at all. But I mean, I got nothing but respect for the work he does and has done. He's sort of one of the godfathers of this whole thing, and did a lot of the early work, and I mean, quite frankly, 90% of the uniform stuff is all using his work as a base, and his templates, and really we wouldn't be where we're at without his stuff, and it's been great. Alright, fourth quarter. I gotta concentrate here a little bit. But yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on 2K. I don't think any of us really talk about where we think this thing is going. Like, it's not like here's the plan and here's, I think LostSoul tries to have a plan, and I know he likes to try to have it organized as best as he can, but it can be hard. You got guys all working on their own sort of thing, and I think these other guys are like me. When you're doing this stuff for free, it's for the love of it. It's not. I'm not doing it because I love spending hours and hours of loading photos on a roster, but I want a roster with photos, so I'm doing it, right? And I think that's kind of where the other guys are at. We work on stuff we want to, not because we have to for this mod. And so having a plan, I don't think it is really conducive to that. But so I don't really know, what the future holds or what guys are wanting to work on. And I don't think it's really a subject that we talk about much. It's just sort of like, hey, I'm going to work on new uniforms today, or hey, I'm going to clean up some of these stadiums, or hey, I'm going to do this. And that's just sort of the way this goes. But I hope these guys stick to it, and I hope these guys want to continue supporting it and putting out their quality stuff. Like, there's just so much, this has come so far since even I just came on, that I've seen how far it's come, and it's pretty mind-blowing. But like, we haven't even scratched the surface of possibilities that there are there, and every time I do something new, it's like I figured out a better way to do it, and an easier way to do it, and a better way to get it in people's hands. And with that, it's like, we could do a NCAA mod, or we can do like even like I know Daffy Boys was talking about a USFL mod, and I'm Canadian, so saying I can do CFL, but I mean full disclosure, I hate the CFL. I think it's garbage football, if I'm being completely frank. But I'm still Canadian, so it'd be kind of neat to be able to do a Canadian Football League mod. And there's just so many things that we could do. Yeah. Oh man, I am just out to lunch right now. Okay, I gotta get it together. This is terrible. Um, it's not really my fault though. Like, it's Burrow. Like, why are you holding on to the ball that long, dude? And I'm just picking stupid plays too. Okay, seriously. It's like I'm playing Fishman all over again online. That dude made me feel like I was terrible at this game, and honestly, I kind of was. But he's a good player. Oh, that ain't good. Take his hat off. Oh man, that's a problem. I'm so glad I decided to record this game and suck. Yeah. I haven't even tried to get Chase involved. Like, that's just a massive mistake. I'm sitting here giving Sean McVay shit, and I've been the worst coach of all time right now. I don't know. I don't know what else I was gonna really talk about. Hope this Super Bowl game's good. Pretty disheartened by this whole Alvin Kamara situation that's going on right now too. Like, I don't know. He seemed like a good guy. He just, talked about not spending his money and blowing it on all this crap, and he seemed like a pretty good teammate. And honestly, like, another coach I don't like is Sean Payton, and I don't know. I gotta be like fair to the guy. Like, I have Kamara in fantasy, and yeah, like, it drives me nuts how they seem to not really utilize Kamara. I know he's got good stats, and people would be like, "What are you talking about? Look at his stats." But like, honestly, he could have better stats. He could. And yeah, okay, that's me being selfish. I get it. I understand. But like, I'll watch games and they'll give him the ball like 8 times, or they'll run him up the middle, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you need to get him the ball in space. He's your best player by far, and utilize him. Like, get the guy the ball. Like, he should be like McCaffrey. Again, that's kind of a terrible comparison considering McCaffrey's out all the time with injuries, probably because they use him too much. Yeah, I'm just talking shit at this point, I think. But yeah, like, I don't know. He doesn't complain. He doesn't bitch. He just kind of does his job. And I was like, kind of thinking he is one of the good ones, and then this whole thing happens, and it's like, man alive, what is going on with these dudes? Like, you'd think it would cross your mind that, like, this day and age, oh, that's a face mask. This day and age, you're not getting away with anything anymore, and people are just dying to catch you doing something wrong, just dying to do it. So, like, you're living your whole life under a microscope. And it's like, what are you doing? Just stop, think, don't do it, go home. And apparently the fight was just over something just ridiculous, dude. This is not good. I should just let him score and try to score and get a onside kick. I don't think there was anything else I really was going to talk about. Just how much I've enjoyed doing this, guys. Screw you, Akers. You suck. You suck. I don't know who you are, 71, but yeah, you should feel shame.
This is a nice run here. When you watch the replay, Dan, check out his field vision. Great job of finding
his field vision. He just bowled over a dude.
And it looks like they will walk away the winner here.
Well, it looks that way, Dan, but it's not over until it reads doubles
Ah.
to attempt the extra point. Jefferson holding.
Now the extra point,
The extra
and
point is good.
it's good.
I gotta be honest, I was pretty stoked at. I know in that little online tournament we're doing as KC, and I'm gonna be completely honest, I just picked them because they're like roster stacked. But I do not like KC. I was pretty excited that they didn't win. I would have thought for sure they'd win the Super Bowl this year.
The Bengals will start this drive deep in their own territory with the clock at 1:10. Number 9 throws a heater right sideline.
Joseph Day has owned me all day. I don't even know what to do. Chase. Let's get Chase. Chase on the case. That's so... I apologize for that. That was stupid.
Second down, 10 yards to go.
Ball at the Bengals, 13-yard line.
This is not going to go well either. Yeah, no.
He's got the first. The clock continues to tick down.
Donald went around that dude like he wasn't even there. That sucked. Huh.
Second down with the tight end right.
Ball at the Bengals, 27-yard line.
Chase. Nope.
Williams tips it away on the coverage. Incomplete.
Williams came in and got a hand on that football and left no chance for a reception there.
On second down, they try for the
Well,
first.
Bengals fans, I'm sorry that I
Defense. That will bring up third
sucked so horribly bad.
down. Third down. The clock is stopped at 40. Number 9 makes the long pass and
Yeah, that's just not even close.
incomplete. That will bring up fourth down.
Fuller came in and got a hand on that football and left no chance for a reception there.
That is their fourth batted ball. Tell you, we've seen a number of good defensive plays from this squad.
We sure have. We'll see if they can keep it up, though.
Dude, are you serious?
Incomplete, and they will turn the ball over.
As we were talking about a long time ago here about the flaws of NFL2K, the draw passes are
Coverage work here, guarding against the corner.
pretty bad as well. And what sucks about it is it's like not even at all necessary. Because if there's one, you can get very realistic stats, you know, playing 2K, except for, I don't care what you do, quarterback completions are nowhere near what they are in real life. I mean, it's very common to have the best quarterbacks in the league consistently throw 50%, if that. And that is the ball game. Well, guys, I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this. If you did, it's cool. I'm just kind of goofing around tonight, and I thought, man, I should just play the Super Bowl and sort of let you guys into my life a little bit here and chit chat about some stuff in 2K and life in general and the team, and just kind of give my adoration there and tell you guys I appreciate y'all, and I'm glad you guys enjoy the mod, and I look forward to contributing more stuff for you in the future. So take care, everyone, and enjoy the Super Bowl, the real one.